We have high standards at St Gilbert's. We expect every new pupil to uphold them.
And with that in mind, I want you all to make sure that our new students are made to feel right at home.
Let them know you belong.
Is that going to stop them from staring?
If they stare, stare back. Hi, how you doing? Gorgeous weather we're having.
Hi, I'm Mabel.
You guys must be these scholarships.
Is it your first time boarding? If you needed anything, I'm really happy to help.
This place I gotta be fire.
Hi, I'm Leah. I thought I was the only one.
Only one of what?
This place is mad extra.
We are the diversity and inclusion team. We plan to capture your black excellence at all times.
There's always drama around the corner in places like these.
Have you not watched Get Out?
We're not even here. Crack on.
These posh boys drink vodka like water. You should be proud of yourself, you know. Rose from the concrete.
Don't be who they expect you to be.
It's giving.
It's really giving.
Giving what?
Just giving.
Hi. How you doing? Gorgeous weather we're having, isn't it?
Hi, Carolyn. So here's what happened in Carolyn Talks podcast YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I'm kind of going off of Kim's question about Toby. He's fascinating to me because he's a polyglot, and he is a polyglot in like he not only speaks in like European languages like the German and French, but he also speaks in Mandarin and Japanese. We get to hear him flex a bit in Japanese, and me having taken courses in Japanese, I thought that was interesting. But I want to talk about the use of language overall in the show with regards to the Black characters, because I see them all as polyglots because they have to code switch, not just between like their traditional traditional English, but also the way they speak to each other as young people, the way they have to speak to the young white cast and the older cast, but also between their natural dialects and native languages. Because like, for instance, there's Femi who speaks in Nigerian with his parents, and when he's in distress, he switches automatically to Nigerian to like really, probably Yoruba to really talk about how frustrated he is. But I want to talk about structuring language in this show because I think it's very interesting that all of Black kids are in a sense polyglots. They know how they've mastered communication with different people in different ways, you know, like Leah knows how to like really talk to men, but she also knows how to talk to the girls, you know, so talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's like, I think that is, I mean, first of all, talking about Toby and him being a polyglot, I think it's because him coming from London is such a mix of people, and I think it, in some ways, I kind of wanted to reflect that. So in the opening scenes where you see him speaking a bit of Farsi, these are a lot of languages that we do here every day, and so he is just has a natural ability of absorbing a lot of these things, and I say a natural ability, but also he puts in the time and he puts in the work. So I kind of wanted to speak to a lot of that. And then in terms of all the characters, yeah, you're right, as in like we all learn how to code switch. Do you know what I mean? And so, and it's interesting what you say about Leah speaking to the men and speaking to the women. We code switch to survive in different spaces, and I think that's what people really love about the show, and what people warm to the show is watching these characters enter this space, and it is about survival. And how do you survive? It is to code switch, and when you do code switch, there's a slight shadow that kind of comes with that, because you also have to question how much you want to code switch, and do you want to code switch, and how much of yourself will be jeopardized if you code switch. And it's a thing of survival. I know I've had my own personal experiences. I've code switched. I know that I have. My accent is not that of South London. I think me going to a predominantly white university, coming back to where I live, people were like, wow, Daniel, you sound different. And I think it was just something which I transitioned to just to survive in those spaces. And it's benefited me to a great deal. But at the same time, it also begs the question of like, why did I have to in the first place? So I think a lot of these things are things that I wanted to inject into the show, which is so important because it's something that we all have to do.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a particular word, like the name of the group, the Rascals. I'm going to just say Rascals because if you're from the Caribbean, you know the way they pronounce it is actually a curse word. So I thought that was interesting, but thank you so much. So my question is, I want to talk a bit more about Leah because she's interesting because while she may be the second Black girl at the school, she's the only dark-skinned one because Abby is biracial and she's light-skinned. So there is a certain privilege that comes with that Abby herself holds. Whereas Leah, she's on scholarship, she's a boarder, she's dark-skinned, she's also very outspoken and very critical and very like, you know, the first thing that we see her wearing, each other's shirts say basically talking about the gal them like not being shut up, like not being suppressed. So talk about her because as a dark-skinned, outspoken Black girl, she stands alone. The boys have each other to support, you know, they have each other to like back them up, but she's a girl, she doesn't have anyone who literally looks like her in that space, and she sets herself apart immediately by challenging the painting, where she's the one who points out, do we not see the problem of how we're like placed in front of this painting with the Black servant sitting there like he's one of us. So talk about her and about how this character, even in a show like this, is still set apart from everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, Leah was I love Leah because she's someone that resonates a lot with people, but she was a hard person to write. And I think it's because all the things that make Leah make her so wonderful also is what people want to criticize. It's like, why is the one Black dark-skinned girl loud and da-da-da-da? But I think the beauty of Leah is because, you know, for me anyway, for Caribbean culture, it's like it's a very matriarchal society. So when Leah is outspoken, it's like I just felt like that was true. Do you know what I mean? So even though you could say that she was an angry Black girl, I was like, but there's a truth in that. Do you know what I mean? There's and it was about not shying away from the fact that there is a trope, but acknowledging the fact is that this is true to the culture, but I'm also going to make sure that she's a fully rounded character and that she is flawed in which, you know, she is outspoken and she is the person that stands up and wants to start the ACS and you know, she's so gung-ho when she has to like fight to get onto this scholarship thing, because it was, you know, as Toby says, you know, it's not our fault that underprivileged Black boys are in at the moment, which is so true. It's like everyone's always talking about Black boys and she has to kind of be the warrior and kind of push through. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that she was 3D and that she was flawed and that, you know, that she is just a teenage girl like everyone else. So whereas she is talking about paintings and stuff like that, when a cute boy walks by, it's very easy to kind of switch because you're a teenage girl with hormones and all. And so I wanted to kind of show that flawed side to her. But as you can see, as the series goes on, I won't ruin it, but you know, she always holds that flame within her. But yeah, she was a difficult character to put together because there was so much weight on her shoulders as the only dark-skinned Black girl. But I think we achieved it, and Jodi Campbell, who plays Leah, played it to perfection because she was able to show that fierce, raw side. She was also able to show that gentle side, yeah, she was just to make her like fully formed. And so I think in the end, I think we got there.
Yeah, I didn't see her as a trope because, like, just coming from the Caribbean, she is Caribbean women. That's like, even as teenagers, that's how we are, you know. Like, if you're they kind of take on the matronly role, even in like children around their own age. So like that, she's very true to herself. And I imagine that's how her mother, if you ever got to meet her mother, her father, or her grandmother, that's how they're gonna be. So I didn't see her as a trope. I just saw her as like as a reflection of like me. I'm like, she's me. She's like my sister, my cousin, my aunt, you know, like.
And I'm so glad because I think that is that's what we were aiming for. And I think, you know, whenever we did get pushback and it's like, why is she the one who's like telling people to not have fun? And it's like, no, it's not that she's not telling people to have fun. It's that there are consequences to our actions because we are the only Black people here. Yeah. And she is taking on that role. She's not killing anyone's fun. She is just the one who sees the world as it really is. So I'm glad that kind of resonated with you.
Yeah, thank you. No, she's a gal though, but thank you so much.
Thank you.